Howdy. Just wanted to show you our bird setup here. So we have 29 birds. So 19 chickens, 10 ducks, and amongst those we have 3 roosters and 3 drakes, male duck. So rest being female, obviously. Um, and some lay more than others, but generally we, at least these days, we're bringing maybe or selling maybe 8 dozen chicken eggs, 8 or 9 dozen chicken eggs a week, and duck eggs is like 2.5 dozen, something like that, a week. So we have 3 50-foot by 75-foot pens, and I'm in the middle one right now. Let's see if I can. So there's bird houses. And so the pen behind me is what we call the right pen, and then I'm in the middle one right now, and then back on the other side is the left pen. And we rotate them each month to a new pen. So they get fresh grass each month. But this is a fixed, these fences are 6 feet tall and T-posts set up, and so they're fixed fences. So, and we've been doing this for a year, maybe 2 years. And, so far it's worked out, but we're hoping that, over the long term, it's still enough space for them, to accommodate that number of birds doing that monthly rotation, that the whole thing actually works out, that it's, a sustainable thing. A lot of people do, electric fence that you can pick up and move, and they move them every day, and that's great. That's a lot of work, or we think it would be a lot of work. And this is nice having this fixed setup. We have to pick up the houses each month and move them to the next pen. We've got a couple. Let me flip this one. We have a couple baby pools. That they can use for water and splash around. The ducks like to get in there, and so we freshen those up each day. And so here comes my wife. I'm doing a video. So a few years ago, I attempted to build a portable goat shed, and it was around Christmas time a couple years ago, and I built it. It was on skids, and it stood for a few months, and then we had a really bad windstorm one day, and it just blew the whole thing over and it collapsed. So we were able to salvage some things. So this is the roof of that goat shed, and then we have that back there is one of the sides. So we're salvaging some of it as shelter for the birds. But yeah, so they get grass. They get to forage for grass all the time. They're outside all the time. But we do give them like Tractor Supply feed. But in terms of buzzwords, right? So there's all kinds of buzzwords, right? There's cage free, there's free range, there's pasture raised. There's organic. We are not certified organic, but we do consider ourselves pasture raised. And in terms of the hierarchy of the buzzwords, pasture raised is, from what we understand, pasture raised is better than free range, better than cage free, and so forth. So, and like they're given grass 24/7. And if you do the math, like I said, these pens are 50 feet by 75 feet. When you do the math for 29 birds, we've heard that supposedly to claim pasture raised, you need at least 108 square feet per bird. And so if you do that math, 29 birds into that square footage actually works out to be decently over 108 square feet per bird. Now the thing is, I would think there would need to be some sort of time requirement with that, right? 108 square feet for a week, for a day. You'd think in a year, if you were given a year on the same 108 square feet, that the land would just be totally barren after a few months. So maybe there's some verbiage on that somewhere online. I haven't found it. But so like I said, we rotate every month, and that seems to be enough to allow the grass to, replenish itself, rejuvenate after they leave a given area. So that, the empty areas have 2 months to recover before the birds are back again. We may get a few more and push right up to that the 108 square foot thing. We can actually get up to 33 birds in the pen and still meet that. And we might go ahead and do that because we're selling out just about every week now. Now I don't know if that's pandemic buying mentality or what, because 6 months ago we definitely weren't selling out. So there's been a definite change in demand with the pandemic. So call it a silver lining, so now we're selling out. But, yeah, so it's one day at a time. So like I said, we might get maybe a couple ducks, maybe a couple chickens, to fill out the flock and keep it, trying to refresh a little bit each year, because eventually these are going to start to age out. So anyway, that's all for now. Thanks.